What's going on, folks? Today I'm going to be showing you the Steve Mast steering angle kit and a few other parts that you're going to need to get a good 60-degree steering angle on your Foxbody or on your new Edge Mustang. So let's go ahead and jump right into it and see what we got here in the box. So we got an envelope with some stickers in it. So that's probably Steve. What's up, Steve? We got some hardware. Go through that in a second. And that's what the new control arm looks like. So that's one control arm. This is the other control arm. So first off, these control arms are adjustable, and I'll show you how the adjustments go. This is where it's going to mount to your K-member. I'll show you how that works in a second. But basically, these control arms are supposedly about 2 inches longer than your stock ones. This is the latest version, so if you've seen pictures in the past, they were tubular. These are CNC machined and welded. The welds look really good. These things are, you know, super heavy duty and they're really strong. This specific version, I asked him to make me arms that were compatible with the stock end links for the sway bar. Some guys don't run a sway bar at all. Some folks, you can get custom sway bar end links, but for my setup, these are spec for the stock sway bar end links. So that's what that hole is there for. This hole, of course, is going to be for the ball joints, which are in this box. It's really nothing special that you need to see. You need 2 of them because you got 2 arms. Steve Mast does not provide you with ball joints. So when the arm is assembled, it looks kind of like this. Bam, magic. So as you can see, I've attached the spherical mounts here. These are going to eliminate the, if you have polyurethane bushings or regular rubber bushings, that's going to eliminate the bushings. And also with those being eliminated, you're going to attach it to your K-member using one of these bolts here. I assume it's going to be these 2, since these 4 are the same and you need 2 on each side. So the stock bolts on your K-member aren't going to work anymore. You're going to bolt it down with these, and then you got to figure out what spacers go in there, and sounds like that's going to be pretty fun. Now, moving on, you're going to need a bump steer kit. So this is your bump steer kit, if I can get the paper off. This is the bump steer kit from, or part of the bump steer kit from Steve Mast. I went ahead and ordered it. He says that this one is a little bit longer. You're going to need more length to add this. So this bump steer kit replaces your outer tie rod end. And again, I'm assuming since I've only got 2 of these bolts, I believe this one goes here like such. And again, you're going to have to add the correct spacers in there to get the correct angle of your tie rod in order to prevent bump steer. But again, you need these bump steer kits to increase the length of your actual tie rods coming from your steering rack, because otherwise your wheels are going to be towed in and you're just not going to have the length that you need after you modify your knuckles. So don't try to do any kind of steering mods without getting a bump steer kit. Even if you don't know what bump steer is, you still need a bump steer kit. Okay, so last thing going with the Steve Mast kit is back to the bump steer kit. So your bump steer kit comes off of your tie rods. One of these goes through it, and this goes into your steering knuckle. This bolt here is a 5/8 bolt, and I don't know what size this hole is, but basically this bolt needs to go through this hole. So you're gonna have to punch that out to 5/8. So while we're talking about the steering knuckle, which this is, or your hub or your spindle or whatever you want to call it, this is a stock steering spindle for a Foxbody Mustang for the 4-lug. If you watch the other videos, this is you know that my car is a 4-lug car with the 5-lug Ranger style hubs on them. Brake rotors, hubs, whatever you want to call them. So basically, this is a 4-lug spindle. For SN95s, it's going to look completely different. But in order to get the steering angle with this spindle, you're going to need to reduce this length by 1.5 inches. And you're going to have to actually modify the angle that this comes off in order to get the correct Ackerman, to reduce your Ackerman. And if you don't know what Ackerman is, you're going to have to do some more research because I'm not going to explain it here. This is, I believe this is cast iron, but from what I'm told is these knuckles are the exact same material as a 240SX. So whatever process you need to do to weld this cast metal on a 240SX is the same process. Don't try to do it yourself in your garage if you don't know what you're doing, because it'll probably break and then you'll kill yourself. So I'm looking at some shops that I'm going to be able to send these spindles to get modified. And once they come back, we'll be doing the install video. We'll be putting all these parts on. Oh yeah. Last but not least, as you see here, I have one eye-box spring because I didn't read the description properly and I only purchased one. I thought they would come in pairs, but it's only one. So I have to order another one. This is a 550-pound spring, which Steve Mast recommends for somebody who's running the stock sway bar. He recommends a 700-pound spring for somebody who's not running the sway bar setup, which is probably easier, but I'm just doing it my way just because. So this is a 550-pound spring, and we'll be swapping that out during the install. So that's about it. So now you know what the Steve Mast kit looks like. Steve Mast has been incredibly helpful in providing advice and communication through this buying process. His contact information is not easy to find, but I will put his Instagram information below, and you can track him down through his Instagram. And if you're interested in getting a set of these arms, definitely hit him up. He knows everything about drifting a Foxbody. See you guys later.